Check. Hello, good evening, everybody. 1 2 1 2. Hopefully, everything is working good.
Check. Hello, good evening, everybody.
Sounds like everything's fine. Well, good evening, and I hope everybody's had a great week. Somewhere in the last couple days, I've picked up some kind of crud, so I'm not feeling well. This will be short tonight. But yeah, I thought I'd get on for just a few minutes. I needed to get off the couch. My shoulders and my hips are hurting from laying around too much today. And so let's go over here and check the chat real quick. Hi, Jim. Good to see you, bud. Let's see. Tom's in. 8 inches of snow. Wow. That's coming this way. I know. We're supposed to get 2 or 3 tomorrow. And then it's supposed to haul off and be 7 below here. 13 below about 50 miles north of here. And 20 below about 60 miles north of here. Hopefully it stays north. 7 below is cold enough, right? Especially when you're not feeling well. So let's see who's in the chat. Tom Downey is in. Gary's in from Arizona. Scotty's in. Looks like, let's see. Sorry. Catching up here. I'm just reading the chat here real quick. So Scotty was asking Gary, who's down in Sun City, Sun City area, that's Phoenix Metro, about healthcare. And I think there's a lot of retired military people down there. I know there were a lot in Tucson, and they seem to be, I didn't hear them complaining much about their medical care. So, yeah, Tim is checking in. Hi, Tim. Let's see. Joy Rogers is in. Hi, Joy. So nice to have you here tonight. If you're just checking in, be sure and drop a comment over in the chat window and wish everybody a Merry Christmas. I am going to make this in pretty short, but I'm feeling all right. Not. I guess I'm feeling okay. I mean, I'm just tired. You got that cold feeling, starting to get a little bit in my chest. I can always tell in my voice. It reminds me of back when I was in my radio days, and my voice sounded like this all the time when I was well practiced. Let's see. Oh, well, Harry Brown Nye, don't be shy. You can chat with us. We're happy to have you here. Jim Bertrand reporting 26.5 C minus 26.5 C. What's that work out to? About 0 Fahrenheit? Somewhere close to that. It's damn cold, whatever it is. Hi, Harry. Yeah, so we're so nice to have you here. And Two Feathers is in. Hi, Two. Wandering RN. Wow, they dropped to 8 degrees outside hose bib at Campground Froze. I was able to heat tape it, insulate, and cover with trash bags, and it's defrosted, but the black tank is frozen. It's not accessible because it's sealed in the underbelly. I put a space heater in the waterline storage compartment, and it's maintaining 72. Yeah, it will eventually defrost there, Wandering RN. I don't know if it's the actual black tank that would get frozen, or if it was the drain itself. Watch that space heater, okay? Be careful with that, please. We don't want to have you have an accident. A couple things I wanted to point out. Today is the first anniversary of the first. Sorry, got these flipping chat bots Okay. Girls 18XYZ is gone. Goodbye. So, yeah, it might just be your drain line wandering RN. We'll keep our fingers crossed. But yeah, keep an eye on that space heater, please. Yeah, Mucinex is key. Lots of water. I've been drinking a lot of tea. Uh, I guess it's sort of the same as water. I drink green tea. This is peppermint tonight. And I'm going to slip out and get some. I'll get some Mucinex tomorrow, but I was also going to get some Airborne. I swear by that stuff. You start taking that as soon as you get some kind of a thing going like this. And it usually makes it go away pretty fast. So does a nice hot bath and a big shot of whiskey or two or three. I don't know if I'll get to the bath tonight, but I might get to the shot or two of whiskey and then go to bed. Jim says 18C is 0F, so 26 is damn cold, Jim. I don't care how you slice it. But yeah, I just wanted to check in real quick and let everybody know that I hope you all have a great Christmas and a Happy New Year. It's been a good year, all things considered. I'd have to say that my brother and I have kind of settled in, and we've kind of, we have our space sorted out. I rarely see him. I mean, it's surprising. I see him 2 or 3, 4 times a day, and the rest of the time he just stays in his room. He's a happy camper that way. So, yeah. Blueberry brandy. That sounds good. I was thinking I wished I had some schnapps tonight. Peppermint tea with peppermint schnapps just sounds like a good prescription. What do you guys think? Two says son suggested whiskey. Yeah, the whiskey in a bath, usually a really hot bath and whiskey will break that fever. I don't think I have a fever. I don't feel feverish. But yeah. Jim says 16 below. Okay, well that's cold. I don't care how you slice it. But up in Winnipeg, you guys ought to be used to that. You're up there north. So, Eric Meyer says it's still warm in Walton, Arizona. Let's hope it's still warm there. I was chatting with a friend of mine down in Tucson, and it's been chilly there. And I think Gary mentioned this too. Lots of rain. They've had plenty of moisture this year, which is really weird. Wandering RN. Yes, high dose vitamin C and zinc works also. Yeah, I think Airborne has a lot of both of those. And Harry says they're all buttoned up there in Taylor, Texas. Chilly Willy is on the way. Yeah, and we all know what happened last year when it got freezing down there, and you guys were all messed up with no power for days and weeks on end. Wondering RN says she's using a Vortex. A Vortex space heater has overheat, auto shut off, and tip protection. Yeah, been running for days. Yeah, cool. Jim says he likes my protection, or my prescription. Eric Meyer says it was 30. His son says it was 37 below in Fairbanks. Tim Meyer says he may or may not have been caught in the dormitory shower with a bottle of peppermint schnapps, also in Fairbanks. Sorry, I have to keep looking around my camera. I just set things up really fast tonight. Usually I get in here and get things set up. But I'm wondering, RN says, yeah, 12 weeks of this contract left and I'm out of here. Okay, I thought it was warm in Alabama. Yeah, I thought it was too. Oh yeah, Jim says remember he was in Baja last winter. Yeah, they had an amazing trip. Him and Cowboy. Come on, help me out, Jim. I follow him on Instagram. Cowboy something or other. Traveled together last year. It looked like they had a great time. Fabian Gomez. Hi, Fabian. Would rubber hose pipe insulation be better than foam hose pipe insulation for that 18-degree weather here in Houston, Texas to wrap my water heater hose? Um, yeah, I think they're both about the same. I personally like that flexible stuff. Yeah, and so I don't know. I think they both have about the same insulating value. You might want to slip out and pick up a heat tape, though, Fabian, and wrap your hose with a heat tape. That's always a good thing. Looks like the dog's making an appearance in the background there. Boots! Bootsy! Come here. What are you doing? He doesn't want to be friendly tonight. Probably because he knows if he comes over here, I'll put his butt outside in the cold. Fabian says he has a Vortex too. Oh yeah, Hall's cough drops work good. Thanks to yeah, I do. I like the Halls. Um, are you guys talking Vornado, or like this heater? Because I'll tell you what, I got this one quite a few years back, and I used it to heat my whole RV in Tucson. Kevin Coop says the high was 42 in Missouri. Yeah, well, it won't be 42 for long, Kevin. And by the way, I got your comment. I didn't get a chance to answer it, but I did address all those. I just kind of breezed over when I was showing the. This is in relation to the video that ran this last weekend on the second half of my electrical design. He was questioning whether or not I had 110 stuff, and I do. I have dedicated 110. I actually added an outside 110 outlet, of course, all on GFCIs. So I've got that side of it covered. Yes, I did coax. I actually caught that. When I was starting to pull wire, I went, oh, wait a minute, I need to get some coax up for my antenna and for my cellular booster. And I pulled coax. I pulled coax. But it didn't make it on my drawings. It will eventually. Then there was something else he'd mentioned in there. Another comment came in about HDMI. And yeah, that's not a bad idea to add one additional or maybe some additional HDMI connectivity. I'm looking at that, but of course it'll be spring now because everything's still wrapped up outside, all nice and safe and sound. Yeah, that's about what I paid for mine, Wandering RN. I'm pretty sure I got mine at Costco in Tucson, and yeah, I definitely enjoy that. You can also, by the way, buy heated water hoses. Okay, that won't stop your hydrant from freezing. Okay. But it will stop your hose from freezing. And I actually still have a heated water hose that I had that I packed around for a number of years and then got smart and got out of the cold in the winter. Let's see. Harry says he got Harry Brown Nye says they got a hotel room last year for a night. We got a generator for this year. Yeah, I bet you generators were. I bet you generators were hot topic all summer in Texas. I have a friend that lives in Houston. Well, actually, up in Spring, right? Isn't that what they call that? Up around the corner there, up inside the loop, the 8 loop, or whatever they call it up north there. And he had a generator installed actually 3 years ago, so he was happy that he made it through. You know, he. Basically, his generator turned on and never turned off. Hey, Montana boy is freezing his butt off for sure. I looked earlier, and the temperatures up in Montana were already 25 below. I'm going to go peek here real quick again because, yeah, I know my friend, I have a really good friend of mine, Jennifer, that lives in Helena. And we chatted day before yesterday, and it's been really super cold up in Montana. Yeah, up in Montana right now. Let's see. If memory serves, Montana boy's up around Missoula. Oh, it's a heat wave in Missoula. That's 28. If you can call that a heat wave. But yeah, you get up there around Great Falls, and they're checking in at 17 below. So something else that came up that I was reminded of today, because I'm a big fan of the whole, well, we'll talk more about it in just a second. But today is the anniversary of the first day that power, electrical power, was ever generated by nuclear energy, and that happened right here in Idaho at a place called EBR1. I have been to EBR1 many times. I worked at the site, what we call around here affectionately the site, which is the Idaho National Laboratory. It's gone through a number of name changes. It was INL, INEL, EEL, yeah, whatever. But that happened at the EBR 1, and the first city in the world to be lit by nuclear energy was a little town called Arco, Idaho. It's about 70 miles northwest of here. And yeah, so a big day for nuclear energy today. For those of you that are up there in the Pacific Northwest, Bremerton is where the nuclear Navy fleet comes in to get refueled, and I worked for Westinghouse Electric at a place called the Expended Core Facility, and that's where all those cores from the fleet came in, and they would come in there, and we would do testing on them, and so on and so forth. Kind of interesting. So yeah. Yeah, it's getting cold for sure though, Montana boy. Wandering RN keeps it on medium. Yeah, good. Yeah, a heated hose. Exactly. It just has a conductor in it, so you're not mucking around with the insulation. And I think that flexible pipe insulation would work great, Fabian. Yeah, I don't think you'd have a problem with that. But I think you're going to want a heat tape, even with that flexible hose. Kevin Coop says it's down to 5 below with a high of 3 degrees in 2 days. Yeah, that weather will be here tomorrow, Kevin. I was teasing Tim in the pre-show about how all our weather goes east. So what I see today, you get to see in a day or two or three. Joy Rogers says she's in Denver. So yeah, travel safe, Joy. Lots of cold out there. Wondering RN says she's headed to Cali. I don't blame her. She has the Gravity Flex hose, and I duct taped the heat tape to it. I'm cheap. No, you're frugal. I like your comment. I'm frugal too. Sorry. Yes, Kevin. When I got my equipment, in fact, it's sitting here. It just came the other day before yesterday. What's today? Tuesday? I guess it came Friday last week. I got my inverter. I do have a DC to DC charge controller and the solar charge controller all in one unit. So yes, to answer your question, I will be able to alternator charge my batteries in the truck camper. Two Feathers asked me, will I say hi to Eric? He's learning the ropes RVing. Hi, Eric. So nice to have you here tonight. Montana Boy says, yeah, it was 34 at 1500, 3 o'clock. Now it's, well, according to my weather report here, it was 24. That's about, I don't know what we've got here. It's probably about 18 here. Oh, no, they're saying it's 29. Yes, it is, Scotty. the NRF, the Naval Reactors Facility. There were 3 prototype reactors out there. And yeah, the nuclear Navy trained there from the 50s until the late 80s, when Reagan decided we'd won the Cold War, and they started to cut the defense budget, trying to balance budget. And they cut out all of the Navy training there, sent it all out to Groton, Connecticut. Electric Boat is at Groton, and that's who makes who was building the nuclear Navy reactors. But yeah, that's I actually worked at Naval Reactors Facility, NRF, and I did a lot of work on A1W. That was the aircraft carrier, first reactor prototype. Westinghouse is the manufacturer, A1W. S1G was the submarine, first prototype built by GE. And then we had S5G out there, which was the submarine, fifth prototype built by GE. So there's your nuclear history of NRF. It is actually no training there now. Now it just handles the cores from the fleet. They bring them in there. They destructively test them. The work that was done there has directly contributed to the fact that they can now send nuclear Navy reactor-based vessels out with a core that lasts 30 years instead of 3 to 5 like they used to. She said, Wondering RN says, I'm thinking you should try out for Jeopardy. You have so much knowledge. Yeah, I guess it's just, it's gray hairs, right? These gray hairs give you knowledge. Lovingly known as Idaho Falls prototype. Kevin Coop, you don't like nuclear power? It has its good and bad side, just like everything, I guess. Yeah, Tim, that's a good point. He says insulation only slows down the freezing of the water that needs a heat source to keep it from freezing. Yeah. Yeah, Fabian, you're probably a little late considering, it's going to be hard to find that stuff. You might, I don't know, you might check with Camping World or another RV store down there. I don't know if they would stock heated hoses as a rule, but you might be able to find a heated hose, and they're good. They're real good. Joy says her truck says it's 46 degrees at the moment. Yeah, you got another day before the cold weather comes that way, Joy. Usually what we get tomorrow, what we're getting today, you'll get tomorrow. Today was nothing. It was a nothing day. And then tomorrow, you'll get what we get tomorrow, you'll have on Thursday. I'll get it figured out. Oh, thumbs down says I can keep my weather. Okay. Eric Meyer says, does the generator charge the chassis batteries? I generally know. Now, generally no, Eric. The way that stuff is set up, the generators typically only charge your house batteries, and they only charge the house batteries through your 110. So when your generator is running, it runs 110 volts. And so to charge your chassis, your house batteries, that 110 would go through the inverter just like normal. The inverter is going to think you're on a plug-in. It's just going to think you're plugged in. And so it's going to run the charger, and it's going to charge your house batteries. But it usually will not charge your chassis batteries. Scotty says he was stationed at Groton. Yeah. Talk about rotten weather. Go to Groton, Connecticut. Oh, thanks, Montana boy. Serious credentials. Yeah, got easily bored. I got laid off. Is how I ended up not working there anymore. From Westinghouse, I got education benefits, and that's where I ended up going to college and get my bachelor's and my master's here in Pocatello. Oh, John Besmick's checking in. Hi, John. Merry Christmas to you, and God bless you as well. Gary D says Camp Murray for me decades ago. I was actually at Fort Gordon in Georgia. Oh yeah, good point. Wandering RN. E-trailer ships quick and their prices are pretty good. True. Also, by the way, RecPro has those hoses, and you can get a discount. You can go through the link in the description of this video and enter the checkout code TR Bolin, and you'll get a discount, and I'll get a small commission. And RecPro's in Tennessee, so I would think if you ordered something in Tennessee, you probably have it the next day, since you're so close down there in Texas. Tom Downey says much of the Bremerton area is under reorganization. Interesting. Montana boy will send Joyce some of the weather. Joy is an OT, over-the-road driver. And so I imagine she gets to see all kinds of crappy weather. But yeah, come on over and get some. Take a truckload with you, Joy, would you? Tom Downey says his does. Yeah, I think it's very rare, though, Tom, that the generator charges chassis batteries. I know in my 04 it didn't, so maybe yours was set up. Kevin Coop says he's for nuclear power. Local utility is working on 2 megawatt nuclear units that come complete and bury them along the power lines. Yeah, they're actually testing one of those small ones that's supposed to be online here, I think, in the next 18 months. One of these microscale reactors that look really fascinating. I've been following it myself just for curiosity. Hi, Judy. So good to see you here. She says she's running late coming in, but wanted to wish everyone a Merry Christmas, and the same thing to you, Judy. Joy says, good, I'm headed east. Go southeast, Joy. You want some advice? Go southeast if you can. Montana Boy says this generator will charge 8 amps, but you need a special cord plug. Yeah? Tim Myers, a lot of motorhomes have what is called trickle start or ample start. That trickle charges your chassis batteries anytime the converter charger has power. Yeah, mine did not. Mine has a chassis. My Class A did not. It had a chassis charger system. So it had a solar panel, small one, 20. I put a 20 watt in when I redid the roof, and it kept the batteries perfect. I can think of one time in 12 years that I owned that thing that I actually had to use the battery boost switch. Thank you, Montana boy. Tom says generator must be jumped if they are dead to get it started. Is started by chassis batteries, yes, but they will recharge. Oh, interesting. Okay. Joy Rogers said she found out the hard way that generator didn't charge chassis. Tom Downey, E and D are stuck. Yeah, it's going to vary depending upon your RV. But in general, I would not assume that your generator is going to charge your chassis batteries. I will stand corrected if somebody can prove that otherwise. Well, I was only going to be on for a few minutes since I'm not feeling so well, and so I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. If anybody has any last-minute comments, please make them now. Otherwise, I'm going to wish everybody a great Christmas, a Happy New Year. Remember, I'll be off next week and the following week, and I will return with the live stream on the, what did I say, the 10th of January? Yeah. So we'll be off the 27th and the 3rd, and then we'll come back on the 10th. Okay, gotcha, Tom. Understood. So, yeah, I wish everybody a great Christmas and a Happy New Year. Try to stay warm out there as this Arctic chill heads south into the lower 48. And I hope you have a wonderful time over the next couple weeks. And we'll be back with some fresh attitudes and some new content right after on the 10th, I guess, of January. Let me just double check that number. Yes. So we'll see you all on the 10th of January. And until then, good night and thanks for watching. Peace out. Bye-bye.